Hello, hello, welcome or welcome back. Let's sit back, relax, have a snack, and enjoy. Sit at My Grave, Season 4, Sanity or Salvation, Chapter 11. Before he knew it, he was once again leaving a busy airport. Arden moved through the place almost like clockwork, quickly figuring out where he was meant to go, getting used to traveling. His luggage dragged behind him, the worn-out wheel creating a soft squeaking noise now. Thankfully, the storm from overseas hadn't followed him, but as he entered the outside, he noticed everything was still very wet and cold. He saw people still opting to keep their umbrellas out, while others wore their coats and hurried to waiting cars picking them up, or went to rent some for themselves. The place wasn't as hectic as his own home city, but still not nearly as friendly as being in Ryoma either. It was at least nice being in a place where he could easily read the signs. It was the only plus he could think of being in the States again. Arden rubbed at his bruised face as he continued walking, trying to dodge people as he went, keeping his head down. He still needed to get home, wrecking his brain on how to get there. He could absolutely not call Gallon for money again. He already had a debt to him. Arden jumped a little as his shoe splashed into a weak puddle. He looked around himself as he walked down the curve of the street. He saw trees around, a mix of naked branches and leaves just holding on. There were other buildings the further he went. He honestly wasn't sure where to go. Should he try to find lodging, or go straight for more transportation? After a while of walking and getting closer to where stores, restaurants, and other buildings were at, he stopped once again, blowing his bangs gently. His legs were sore, his body ached. He felt like just sitting there to think. But honestly, he had all flight to think. Not much came of it. He felt like he'd been traveling for so long. I suppose being away from familiarity would always make you yearn for home, regardless of how broken it seemed before he left. Normally, he should have been enjoying this. He was out on his own, traveling to see the world, no one around to tell him what to do. But now, even as he took in the cozy city scenery, he just wished he had someone to help him. He knew he must look so unapproachable right now, though. Just as Arden was about to continue walking, a car sped up past where he stood in the corner, splashing water on him. The cold, dirty water hit him from his torso over his legs, making him flinch in shock, stumbling. It had to be on purpose. Traffic hadn't been going by that quickly. Arden opened his mouth to say something, but he saw the car slow and the window roll down. "Watch where you're walking!" The guy warned him with a snark, his friends in the back chiming in with him. Arden stood there with his mouth open. The words struck from him, making the guy laugh harder before riding off. It was just a coincidence, Arden was sure of it. The man still happened to have blonde hair. Just seeing it gave him a flashback. It almost felt like a physical hold, keeping him from speaking. It must have been like a freak just standing there, his mouth gaped open. Arden shuddered, the cold wind making those wet clothes cling to him. Every time he tried to hold his old irritation, it just slipped away from him. What are you going to do? Get so angry at water on you, you'll be willing to kill someone? Arden questioned himself bitterly. He didn't have anything to dry himself, so he straightened himself out and kept walking, hoping better ideas were waiting for him down the road. As he continued on, he noticed the building structures. They looked so old, they seemed to be from a different age, while others just looked run down. Trees were littered throughout, and the further Arden went, he noticed there was another place he could get close to the ocean from. That also reminded him of the city at home, although it's a lot easier to get to the more cozy-looking areas here. Arden sniffled. It was getting more and more uncomfortable. He found himself shivering, almost wanting to hold himself for warmth. He opted for going into a store he stumbled upon. It was a cheap one, most things advertised to be just around $1. Arden's shoes hit the carpet upon entering the small store. The ceilings above had brown spots where leaks had been, but otherwise, it looked clean and neat. The carpet was gray, but the majority of the store had white and bright orange. There were freezers full of quick meals, ice creams, and drinks. Snacks were further stacked on shelves. They had a toy section and a spot for clothes. Nothing fancy, but it all seemed pretty affordable. "Hey, welcome." Arden heard the tired voice of the cashier. She also sported the store's colors on her uniform. She was leaned over by the checkout area, reading one of the store's magazines, only half-heartedly glancing up, She did a double take looking at Arda. Hey man, you look awful, she commented, barely a frown on her face. Arda couldn't tell if she was genuinely concerned or just a little shocked. It didn't matter either way. Can I leave these here? Arda asked, gesturing to his luggage. It was only a cashier briefly, but remembered how annoying it was dealing with customers, and tried to be a little more mindful. Well, you can, but, maybe put them behind here so no one will try to steal them, she suggested. Arda nodded, walking over, dragging the luggage with them. She gingerly took the handles, hiding them behind the area with her. The pants area is aisle 3. It's more of just an open spot. Honestly, you can't miss it. You can probably circle this whole place in 10 minutes, she mentioned after pointing the spot out. She went back and leaned over on her desk again, started once again, nibble on a bag of Fruity Chews. Arda was about to question why she even said that, but remembered he was still damp from earlier. He'd been walking so long, he was about used to the cold, disgusting feeling. He began walking around the place, seeing a few more people also browsing, a foggy song being played over static speakers overhead. He needed the clothes, just the warmth of the building. But as he gazed at the section, he remembered there was no way he could buy anything. He could always look in his luggage for more clothes, but he couldn't bring himself to open it. Not when he knew what he had in there.